George Wills here, NewsNation senior political contributor, Pulitzer Prize-winning columnist. Good to see you, George, as always. For those wanting to stop Donald Trump or counting on the courts to do it, time's running out, is it not?
It is, and the ironic thing here is that those people who are urging swiftness on the part of the Supreme Court and the D.C. Circuit Court are guilty of exactly what they're saying Mr. Trump is doing. Mr. Trump does seem to want to delay this until after the election. That's a political consideration, but his critics have their own political consideration. They're saying they want this accelerated so that trials will take place in the middle of the campaign, and they say it's somehow the Supreme Court or the D.C. Circuit Court, these courts are not cooperating for partisan reasons. They're trying to delay this. The fact is, Leland, that the primary reason this has taken so long is that the Biden Justice Department took 30 months before indicting Mr. Trump for his complicity, such as it may be, in the January 6th riot. So everyone at this point seems to be making political considerations, and it's worth noting, Leland, a new word has entered our language, lawfare. It's the use of the law in a kind of political warfare, and it's an extremely unhealthy development for both sides.
Yeah, for sure for both sides. There's this hope on the left, right? And there was this long hope that Donald Trump was going to be stopped by, to use your word, lawfare, 91 counts against him, on and on and on. And then the Republican establishment was going to stop him with no less than a dozen other Republicans running for president, on and on and on. And much like the predictions in 2016 of all the things that were going to stop Donald Trump, none of this seems to.
It doesn't, in part because, Leland, people are so promiscuous in charging the president with crimes. Pressuring the vice president, pressuring Mr. Pence, is not a crime, even if you do it on behalf of a crackpot constitutional theory. Contesting an election, even if you do it with scant or negligible or no evidence, is not a crime. So there seems to be a kind of attempt on the part of Mr. Trump's critics to throw a lot of stuff at the wall and see what sticks. And again, it's an unwholesome development in our democracy.
All of this likely is going to end up at the Supreme Court. You brought that up, that the January 6th case in D.C. is going to end up at the Supreme Court. There's the Colorado ballot question at the Supreme Court. You'd think that there's going to be, on every one of these cases, in the classified documents issue is going to end up at the Supreme Court. We got a preview of what's going to happen when things get to the Supreme Court on Wednesday from MSNBC. Take a listen.
For you to say that this is something that the court needs to decide because it's something that's unclear in the law is just flagrant bullpucky. And they know it, and they don't care that we know it, and that's disturbing about the future legitimacy of the court.
Clarence Thomas needs Trump to win again so Clarence Thomas can retire. And most likely, Sam Alito needs Trump to win again so Alito can retire instead of having to die on the bench. And so that's at least 2 of the 9 who have a vested professional interest in seeing continued Republican hegemony over this country.
That word legitimacy keeps coming up. It's difficult, I guess, to have institutions, which seem to be very important to some, if you keep calling the institutions that exist illegitimate.
Those commentators on MSNBC would cost MSNBC its reputation for seriousness if it had such a reputation. You're quite right. Attacking the legitimacy of courts from the left or from the right is exceedingly dangerous because, as Alexander Hamilton said when describing the Supreme Court and the judiciary as the least dangerous branch, he said, the courts have neither the sword, force, nor the purse, the power of money. All the courts have to guarantee compliance with their actions and their reasoning is their prestige. And when you undermine that, you're undermining the rule of law. Imagine, Leland, if in 1954, when the Supreme Court finally dealt with the extremely fraught matter of school desegregation, separate and equal, Jim Crow, and all the rest, imagine if at that point the Supreme Court had been under the kind of attack that it's under today by people consciously trying to diminish its authority.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.